Okay, sir. Let us start.
Yeah, you can start, Jan.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here for our Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav, the first e-conference on rural development through volunteerism. This is jointly being organized by National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Northeastern Regional Center, the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, and Gandhi City and Darshan Samiti, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Welcome to all of you. And we are happy to announce that with us, we have Honorable Secretary, Rural Development Ministry of Government of India, Ministry of Rural Development, Sri Nagendra Nath Sinha. Sir, welcome to you. We have our Honorable Director General, Sir, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj. Welcome you, sir. We are delighted to that we have with us Director, Gandhi City and Darshan Samiti, Mr. Dipankar Srigyan, Minister of Culture, Government of India. And we have Professor and Director, National Institute of Rural Development, Northeastern Regional Center, Dr. Murugesan Ramaswamy, Guwahati, Assam. And all other dignitaries, all faculties. So this is a program basically regarding the volunteerism in rural development, and we are trying to showcase some beautiful case studies and experience of volunteerism in and around from almost all the northeastern states, how the volunteerism is working, and particularly in the situation of the pandemic where everybody is struggling. So with this, I would like to request our Director, Northeastern Regional Center, Dr. Murugesan Ramaswamy, to welcome, he put his welcome address to the dignitaries as well as the participants and delegates. Sir, please.
Namaskar, sir. First of all, it's my privilege and it's my opportunity to welcome Secretary Saab for this very innovative approach of our volunteerism rural and through rural development program. Sir, from Northeastern region, I have very recently took over the charge with your support on this, sir. Sir, just 1 year back, we have organized a program called Swanetratva Se Bharat Nirman बोल के एक volunteerism के अंदर तो बेटा के यहाँ पर काम किए थे सर off campus program from NIRD headquarters से last March. Afterwards, we fall on lockdown. But what I feel that is really, it was helping in this Northeastern region for supporting and boosting the volunteerism among the people, among the public, as well as among the youth, though taking forward towards the country's entire development to protect from the COVID and the situation, sir. Sir, with all your support, we are doing well in this context, and particularly in the rural development for the Northeastern region. I welcome you with the folded hands, sir, for organizing, inaugurating this program, and it is like the first one after my joining me under this Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav program, and for which we have the my friend Mr. Dipankar. I know him when he was working from the SIRD, this is a historical organization of our NIRD, and since when we are planning to organize such very good program with the Gandhis, following the Gandhi's path in the country at that particular in the grassroots level. So for that purpose, now we have joined our hands together with the Ministry of Culture as well as Ministry of Rural Development. So with sir, for under this context with your guidance, so we have organized very innovative approaches who have followed, who have dedicated, committed themselves in nurturing the volunteerism in the Northeastern region. So one by one, sir can be listened, sir, because it will be better my saying. So if they said, that will be the effect would be real thing, sir. So I leave it to them. I welcome all my participants, all my delegates, all my colleagues from both NIRD as well as other organization, my partner organization called Gandhi Smriti, for this innovative approach of the program. And not that, sir, with a keen guidance and support of our Director General, sir, is really I admire his support and his own guidance, sir. So with his guidance, definitely we feel that we could go ahead with. That means in general, what I follow is whatever we have done, I always ask the question that what next. So I think definitely my Director General's support will push me towards then what next, to answer the questions of what next. Definitely I could able to do. Sir, with all your support, I once again I welcome all of you. Sir, I welcome my Director General, sir, also, sir, for this program. And Dipankar, my friend Dipankar is there on the other side. So I welcome my Dipankar sir for all this program. And Vedavyas Kundu. Vedavyas Kundu is a very, very good approach. Now he is doing number of programs. So he's working as a program officer in Gandhi Smriti. So I welcome Vedavyas sir also. And on all the participants who can share, who have come here to share your experiences to our August dignitaries, will be really beneficial, and definitely we will be with you in future course of time also. So with these few words, I welcome each and everyone for coming and participating in this workshop. I thank you very much also for given your times and hearing. I think I hand over the mic to my colleague, Dr. Jayanto. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, as requested, I have been directed by our Honorable Secretary, sir. Sir, we would like to present our first case study as an experience, sharing his experience. Mr. Noor from Assam, Mr. Noor Ahmed Laskar is the Pradhan Sonapur Panchayat, Assam. And they have done a very good work of volunteerism during a different part. And this Panchayat, in various fields, they have done something different, starting from the GPTP formation and other, and during COVID situation also, they have done some wonderful work. So their name was recommended by the government, and he's going to share with you. So now over to Mr. Noor. Please take 5 to 6 minutes for sharing your experience, how we have done of volunteerism. Over to Mr. Noor. Yeah, please. Mr. Noor, you can speak. You can speak now. Yeah.
सर नमस्ते सर.
Noor Ahmed.
हाँ सर नमस्ते सर. मैं पहले असम की तौर से आप लोग सभी को हार्दिक बधाई और शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि आप लोग मुझे इस गांव के छोटा गांव के रहने वाले सोनापुर गांव के रहने वाले एक सरपंच को पहले मौका दिया, इसलिए आप लोग का शुक्रगुजार हूं. पहले शुक्रगुजार हूं मैं सर, और असम का तौर से आप लोग सभी को ये गमछा मैं देना चाहता हूं. आप लोग सभी को दूर से भी आप लोग को गमछा देना चाहता हूं, फेलिसिटेट करना चाहता हूं. तो सर कभी अगर मौका मिलेगा तो सामने से फेलिसिटेट करूंगा, लेकिन अभी कोविड का सिचुएशन है तो फिर दूर से ही आप लोग से बात करके मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. पहले बात है सर, असम का सिचुएशन ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं है फिलहाल, और मेरे पंचायत में कोविड का सिचुएशन का ऊपर कोविड पॉजिटिव केस 30 to 40% पॉजिटिव केस निकला था. तो हम हर घर जाके जिला प्रशासन और हम लोग का रूरल डेवलपमेंट का तरफ से हम लोग को सबको टेस्ट कराने का काम किया है. कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का जो रूल है, रेगुलेशन है, गवर्नमेंट जो रूल रेगुलेशन बना के दिया है, ये रूल रेगुलेशन पालन करने के लिए जैसे परिस्थिति में सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग हो या मास्क परिधान करना हो, जो भी है गवर्नमेंट का जो रूल है वो रूल पब्लिक का सामने लेने के लिए प्रयास किया हूं. और कोविड सिचुएशन में हर घर में वो हम लोग का टेस्टिंग का काम किया है। लगभग 4000 का ऊपर आदमी को हम टेस्टिंग किया है। इसका ऊपर वैक्सीनेशन का काम हम चला रहा है, वैक्सीनेशन भी चल रहा है हम लोग का यहाँ। तो हम लोग का यहाँ दूर वैक्सीनेशन हमारा पंचायत में 2 वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर बैठाया है, वहां में हम हर रोज वैक्सीनेशन का काम कर रहा है। इसका ऊपर जिला प्रशासन का साथ मिलकर कोई आदमी कोविड प्रोटोकॉल मान रहे हैं कि नहीं मान रहे हैं उसका ऊपर भी काम कर रहा है। जो गरीब आदमी घर से बाहर नहीं निकल सकता है, उन लोग का राशन पानी से लेके कैसे चल रहा है, हर आदमी का घर घर जाके दूर से या मोबाइल से जैसे भी हो उन लोग का बातचीत करके हम काम आगे बढ़ा रहा है सर। सर
Sir, would you like to ask any question, sir, to Mr. Noor?
साहब, आपका जो ग्राम पंचायत है उसकी कितनी आबादी है? म्यूट कर लीजिए।
14,000 आबादी है सर। 14,000 फिलहाल 14,000 हो गया है सर।
और यहाँ पे वार्ड है?
10 वार्ड है सर।
चलिए, आपके यहाँ पे रोजगार और स्वयं सहायता समूहों को बढ़ाने के लिए आप लोगों का क्या प्रयास हो रहा है? ये प्रयास तो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन लोग का दूसरा भी अंग है, उसके दिशा में भी मैं आपके प्रयासों को जानना चाहता हूँ। स्वयं सहायता समूह कितनी है, वो किस क्षेत्र में काम कर रही है, रोजगार के क्या साधन के पास है, दिशा में क्या प्रयास कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएंगे?
सर आपका क्वेश्चन समझा नहीं सर, थोड़ा सा नेटवर्क के लिए सर।
मैं थोड़ा और नजदीक आके बोलने की कोशिश करता हूँ, शायद हो सकता है यहाँ से मेरी आवाज आपको ज्यादा सुनाई दे। मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ आपके यहाँ पे स्वयं सहायता समूह हैं?
सर
ये स्वयं सहायता समूह किस प्रकार का काम कर रहे हैं?
सर हम लोग जो हम लोग का यहाँ में जो लोकल एनजीओ है, इसका बाद में जो आशा कर्मी है, आंगनबाड़ी वर्कर है, उन लोग को हम एक साथ बैठा के सर कैसे काम कर सकते हैं सबको लेके हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं सर।
अच्छी बात है। तो आप लोग अपने यहाँ पे रोजगार की वृद्धि के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं जिससे लोगों की आजीविका लाइवलीहुड में वृद्धि हो?
हाँ सर, वो रोजगार के लिए सर तो पहले हम लोग एग्रीकल्चर का ऊपर में ज्यादा काम कर रहे हैं। एग्रीकल्चर को हम लोग डेवलपमेंट करना चाहता हूँ सर, और एग्रीकल्चर के लिए उसका जो व्यवस्था है पानी का हो या सर बीज का हो, ये सब एग्रीकल्चर का ऊपर ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है सर। इसका ऊपर हम लोग का पंचायत का अंदर रेवेन्यू ज्यादा करने के लिए हमें हम मार्केट सेट बनाया है सर। मार्केट सेट का माध्यम से वो रेवेन्यू आ रहा है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा रेवेन्यू आ रहा है। इसका ऊपर सर हम एक कोविड सिचुएशन के लिए प्लांटेशन सोशल फॉरेस्ट से मिलकर एक प्लांटेशन का बारे में सोचा था सर। 3,500 वो गिलोय जो सर गिलोय बोलता है, वो गिलोय का विलेज निर्माण करने का कभी काम किया स्टार्ट किया है सर। 3,500 प्लांटेशन किया है सर हम लोग।
अच्छी बात है, अपने गिलोय को लगा के वहाँ पे प्राकृतिक रूप से चिकित्सा हो सके इसका उपाय आपने सोचा, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है साहब। आप आगे अच्छा काम करते रहिए, हो सकता है कि हम लोग अभी आके आपके यहाँ करने का मौका मिले। और जिस प्रकार से आप गांव वालों को साथ लेके चल रहे हैं और उनके दुख दर्द में बीमारी के खतरे के बावजूद आप साथ मिलकर काम करते रहे, अपने आप में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण और उल्लेखनीय बात है। और हम लोग ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय की ओर से आपके काम की बहुत प्रशंसा करते हैं। भगवान आपको ऐसे ही बढ़ाए और आपकी ग्राम पंचायत को और आपके लोगों को आगे।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Mr. Noor Mohammad Laskar. And last time also we visited. Again, we will continue our journey and we'll be in touch with you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. And now I would like to request our dignitaries Dipankar Srigyan. Dipankar Srigyan, he is the director, Gandhi City and Darshan Samiti. It's a national memorial of Mahatma Gandhi, an autonomous body of Ministry of Culture. Dipankar Srigyan, sir, he did his MSc in LLB and PGD in SRT and PGD in Tribal Development Management. He is an officer of Jharkhand Administrative Services in rank of Additional District Magistrate and working in GSDS as on deputation. Earlier, he was served in Kapar for 5 years under Ministry of Rural Development. He is awarded with the Best Administrative Officer Award and Gandhi Vinoba City Award. With this brief profile, I will request Mr. Dipankar Srigyan sir to give the introductory remarks. Please.
नमस्कार सर। परम आदरणीय श्री NN सिन्हा सर, मेरे मेंटर, मेरे गाइड, और उन्होंने ही मुझको सेव किया है, मैं कह सकता हूँ। आदरणीय डॉक्टर जी नरेंद्र कुमार सर, DG NIRD NPR, मेरे पुराने मित्र मुरुगेशन रामास्वामी सर, जयंत चौधरी जी, मेरे सहकर्मी वेदव्यास कुंडू जी, और इस कार्यक्रम में भाग ले रहे आप सभी तमाम मित्रों। जब 12 मार्च को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव की शुरुआत साबरमती आश्रम से की थी, उनके भाषण की जो मुख्य बिंदु मुझको समझ में आई वो पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन थी, कि कैसे देश के बड़े कार्यक्रम पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन से। उस आधार पर जब हम लोगों ने सोचना शुरू किया कि हर विभागों के साथ हम किस सिनर्जी के साथ काम करें और जहां पर कि पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन से कुछ काम किए जा सके, तो मेरा ख्याल रूरल डेवलपमेंट की ओर गया कि इस डिपार्टमेंट के साथ क्या किया जा सकता है। सचिव महोदय से एक दिन वार्ता हो रही थी, तो सचिव महोदय ने कहा कि SHG क्या कर सकती है, ये सोचो। SHG कैसे इन्वॉल्व होगी, SHG के लोग कैसे इन्वॉल्व हों और वो कैसे एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम बने। सर का एक और भी सुझाव था कि SHG के लोग भी 2 अक्टूबर या 30 जनवरी को कुछ बड़ा कार्यक्रम करें। उस आधार पर यह प्रेरणा आई कि इस तरह के किसी कार्यक्रम की परिकल्पना की जाए। इसी बीच मेरी नज़र में धीरेन्द्र मजूमदार की एक किताब समग्र ग्राम विकास की ओर भी आई, जहां पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन से रूरल डेवलपमेंट कैसे किया जा सकता है, इसकी परिकल्पना है। तो इस आधार पर हम लोगों ने रूरल डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के साथ अपने मित्र मुरुगेशन जी के साथ वार्ता की कि एक ऐसे कार्यक्रम की परिकल्पना करें जिसमें पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन में क्या क्या काम हो सकते हैं, और सेक्रेटरी साहब को बुलाया जाए, DG सर को बुलाया जाए, वो बताएं कि कैसे सरकार केवल उसकी आयोजक हो सकती है, कार्यक्रम करना पब्लिक को है, पब्लिक उसकी मेन प्लेयर पब्लिक होगी, सरकार सिर्फ उसको बेसिक सपोर्ट देगी। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे कार्यक्रम विभाग ऑलरेडी चला रही है, जैसे महात्मा गांधी नरेगा स्कीम, ये पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन से चलती है, विभाग केवल उसकी फंडिंग करती है। उसी तरह नेशनल रूरल लाइवलीहुड मिशन, इसमें भी पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन ज़्यादा है और चीज़ें जो है सो सरकार के लेवल पर बहुत लिमिटेड है। ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो चल रही हैं। अभी हम लोगों ने भी कोविड में जो कुछ काम किए, तो SHG के माध्यम से फ्री मास्क का वितरण, मास्क को बनवाना, उस तरह से फिर वैक्सीनेशन अवेयरनेस एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम है जो भी पूरे देश को वैक्सीनेट होना है। इसमें रूरल डेवलपमेंट के लगे जितने भी एजेंट्स हैं, अगर उनकी सेवाएं ली जाएं, चाहे वो SHG की महिलाएं हों या नरेगा में काम करने वाले लोग हों, तो मुझको लगता है कि जो वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम भारत सरकार चला रही है और जिसमें एक बहुत बड़े अवेयरनेस की आवश्यकता है, तो रूरल डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट शायद सबसे बड़ा डिपार्टमेंट होगा जो इसमें सबसे महत्वपूर्ण अपना योगदान दे सकता है। तो ये सब चीज़ों को सोचकर हम लोगों ने इस कार्यक्रम की परिकल्पना की है। मुझको लगता है कि जो हमारे मित्रगण भी डिफरेंट स्टेट से अपने प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे हैं, उनकी भी एम्फेसिस यही है कि मूलभूत से तरीके से वो यही बता रहे हैं कि उन्होंने पब्लिक के साथ मिलकर कैसे लोगों के जीवन में बदलाव लाने के कार्य किए हैं। और डीजी सर हैं और सेक्रेटरी सर हैं, मुझको लगता है कि सर हमें गाइड करेंगे इस कार्यक्रमों को हम कैसे एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम बनाकर देश के सामने रख सकें और देश की जो चुनौतियां हैं उसको कैसे हम एड्रेस कर सकें। तो ये पूरा सेशन मुझको उम्मीद है कि हर लोगों को जो इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं उनको भी फायदा देगा, और जो लोग पार्टिसिपेट करके अपने क्षेत्रों में बाकी लोगों को बताएंगे वो एक अलग से इस बात को दूर तक पहुंचाया जा सकेगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In fact, it is required. Even we are discussing that how this program can be elaborated and more can be designed in this area, because volunteerism is very much important in whole India, but in northeastern states also it's important. Now, we would like to present another case study explain. This is from the states of Manipur, and this organization all they have done a wonderful work, and United Nations listed them as a top 10 global initiative for an inclusive fight against COVID-19. So, and we got it from the Times of India newspaper also, that they have done some tremendous work. And then immediately we contact them, and they are agreeing. And during this COVID period, they have provided around 2,000 families. There is a network of 100 volunteers. It's a wonderful 100 volunteers and 2,000 families and individual work. 1,000 health kits. They have given 6,500 sanitary pads and 1,500 other necessary elements. So, as reported by the Sri Lanka UN envoy on youth. So, it's a tremendous achievement from that part of Manipur. So I would like to request Mr. Sadam Anjabam to present his experience on volunteerism from Manipur. Welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. And I'll be speaking in English. My Hindi is not really good. So my name is Sadam Anjabam, and I studied agriculture. And I did my agriculture extension from MSc in agriculture extension from Kerala Agriculture University, and my graduation from Assam Agriculture University. So, and I am doing my PhD from Tata Institute, Mumbai in development studies. So basically my organization name is called YAOL. YAOL in Manipuri, it means revolution. So somehow we are a youth-based, youth-led organization. So everyone in our organization is under 35. So it is a totally youth-led and youth-based organization, and in a way inclusive that we work with all types of population. Like we work with young people who are living with HIV. We work with people who are living with disabilities. Then also with the transgender population. So it's more like a population which is not included mostly in the mainstream programs. So we work with those populations which are often sidelined and are invisible. So during when the COVID started in 2020, around 2020 March, what happened was everything was shut so abruptly that many of the people were not ready to face it. So as we do not have much of the resources also, we started a crowdfunding campaign called Khudol Initiative. Khudol means gift in Manipuri. So we started a crowdfunding campaign from March 2020, and it's still going on. And we gathered more than 30 lakhs of rupees from all over India and outside, where the money was used to put in different phases. Like we gathered a volunteer of around 100 people from across Manipur, and the money was used to provide ration and food, then medical supplies, including sanitary pads, condoms, and even contraceptives, because there was no family planning happening during the COVID time, and also, and we opened up 5 helpline numbers for mental health, where our 5 helpline numbers were taken up by the Directorate of Health Manipur, and we provided free mental health helpline numbers in the state, and also there were many calls from outside the state also. So somehow we have been working till now. It's been more than a year, and on the way we, as Sir Jayanta sir mentioned, our initiative was picked up by the United Nations as one of the 10 global initiatives led by young people across the world. So it was a very surprising but very motivational achievement from our side. And I would like to add somewhere that I had applied to NIRD. I got selection in NIRD Hyderabad also, but I moved to TISS Bombay for my PhD, so I could not complete it in NIRD. So I'm really grateful to see all the leaders here and all the sirs here that that I couldn't meet personally, but somehow the work that I do is somehow linked with my agricultural background and my agricultural extension and rural development background, and connecting with the health sector somehow and with the voluntarism that now our work has been featured on Apple TV, and it has been documented well by Prince Harry and Oprah Winfrey from in the Hollywood, and somehow they have released them documentary this month worldwide, which has been a very fortunate thing for us, from the people from India, that somehow our initiative from India was listed. And currently, regarding COVID, what is happening is 60 districts where more than 10% positivity rate was given out yesterday. And out of that, in Manipur, there are still districts which has more than 10% positivity rate still going on. So a lot of mass testing is happening, and a lot of vaccination is happening. So we have already vaccinated 100 people who are from the marginalized communities, and we are on the plan of vaccinating more 200 people who are disabled and are living with HIV, because a lot of misinformation is going on that people living with HIV cannot vaccinate, or people who are going through hormone therapies, they cannot vaccinate, and a lot of things is going on. So we are doing special drives in Manipur, and somehow we are also planning for the first kind of drive-in vaccination in Manipur, where disabled people or people living with other health conditions who cannot walk or who cannot see, they can be vaccinated directly through drive-ins, and not by making a crowd. So these are some of the things which we have done, and we are really proud to be a part of this session. And I'm really thankful to Jayendra sir for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Sir, any question to Saddam?
Which area of Manipur do you work? Which area of Manipur do you work in?
Sir, we are based in Imphal, but we work across the northeastern states. We have more than, we have impacted more than 10,000 people across Northeast, and Darjeeling and Siliguri. So our network is kind of a very voluntary network. So, but our main office is based in Imphal in Manipur.
Area of my is always towards improvement of livelihoods. So, what manner is your organization or network helping people?
For which case? I didn't get it.
So, my area of interest is livelihoods.
Yeah.
So from you, in what manner is the status of livelihood there?
Yeah.
The area you work, and how are you helping them restore and improve their livelihood prospects?
So our mostly our vision is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. So we basically focus on the components of good health and well-being, quality education, and decent growth. So it's like we are working on sustainable goal number 3, 4, 5, and 8. So we are working through tools like sports. We use sports, football as a kind of because young people need to get gather around. We need sports as a means of as a tool, and we do a lot of advocacy around health and well-being and livelihood. And also, we do a little bit of research work because I am myself I'm a PhD, so I have interest in research work. So we do a lot of research evidence gathering because in our area sometimes there are no data, so it hinders a lot. So we work on research in evidence gathering, and we do a lot of capacity building workshops in schools and colleges and in communities because they do not have proper young people do not have proper information about any of the good health or livelihood or whatever the government program. So we do a lot of capacity building and advocacy workshops, and currently we work on small scale projects with we are working with United Nations AIDS program, HIV program, to gather evidence and also to provide livelihood to young people who are living with HIV, who are born with HIV also. So somehow in that way we are working at the with certain stakeholders which supports us, or another CSRs like Marico company. They are providing us support in terms of providing free mental health care in Manipur. And definitely we are going to work with Dettol India, which will be used for training students and teachers on what do you say, on their sexual reproductive health and violence and many other substance abuse and many other things. So we work mostly with the CSR foundations, and not we haven't worked with government organizations. We have worked only with CSR foundations, and it has helped a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Saddam, and hopefully we'll again see you in some other platform also very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now I would like to invite our Honorable Dr. G. Narendra Kumar as the Director General of National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. He has joined this institute and took charge on January 27, 2021. Previously, he served as an Additional Chief Secretary in the Delhi Government of Delhi. And Sir has possessed PhD from Osmania University and holds master degree in public administration from Maxwell School of Public Affairs, USA. He was instrumental in setting up 4 universities in Delhi. Earlier, he worked in various national and international academic institutions such as Administrative Staff College of India and ICRISAT, and has administrative experience in environmental protection, social and sustainable development. With this small profile, I would like to request our Honorable DG Sir to give his presidential address. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, Jayanta. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Respected Secretary, sir, Dr. Professor Murugesan, Mr. Dipankar, Mr. Beda Vyas, other presenters in this meeting and participants in this webinar. It's indeed a great pleasure to be participating in this innovative and thought-provoking webinar. And it's very topical as we approach the 75th year of independence, that we look at Gandhiji's thoughts on rural development and voluntarism, how they interface and what lessons there are for us to take in the current rural development paradigm that we have, and the way we're progressing with rural development. It may be beneficial for us to recollect some of Gandhiji's thoughts on rural development, which still are relevant. So I'll read out some of the thoughts that and messages that Gandhiji put out. One of his very famous messages that India lives in its villages. It continues to live in its villages. The importance of agriculture to the GDP has increased, but the population numbers in the villages are still there. Another important paragraph from Gandhiji's addresses goes as follows, which is very revealing and relevant even in today's context. And he said as follows: I would say that if the village perishes, India will perish too. India will be no more India. Her own mission in the world will get lost. The revival of the village is possible only when it is no more exploited. Industrialization at mass scale will necessarily lead to passive or active exploitation of the villagers as the problems of competition and marketing come in. Therefore, we have to concentrate on the village being self-contained, manufacturing mainly for its own use. So almost a century ago and before that, Gandhiji knew about the importance of focusing on industry, not alone on agriculture. So he knew that agriculture will not pull the villagers out of their problems, out of poverty, and he therefore advocated a different type of industrialization, rural industrialization, which would generate jobs, which will make the villages self-contained and surplus, and that surplus to be shared with the less fortunate in the village. Another statement of which again focuses on holistic development, holistic village development. He said as follows: my ideal village will contain intelligent human beings. They will not live in dirt and darkness as animals. There will be neither plague nor cholera, nor smallpox. No one will be idle, and no one will wallow in luxury. So here again, he pointed to the necessity of making human beings intelligent, providing for basic services, including the healthcare services that we still are talking about, providing COVID approved services, vaccination, and so on and so forth. So all these things were integral part of Gandhi's thinking even at that time, and they still remain relevant for us. And on voluntarism, some of his sayings which perhaps can inspire us even today are as follows, that he mentioned: my life is my message. And we all know how he lived, how he volunteered, struggled for liberating the country from the British. And as he rightly said, my life is my message. And he was a practical man, and he said that, look, what I practice, I preach, and you get your message from it. And he also said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So these are a few relevant quotes from Gandhiji's sayings that I thought I'll place before you in the context of rural development, its current paradigms, and volunteering. Ever since Gandhiji passed away, we got independence. There has been a rapid transformation in the rural areas. Many rural development programs have been made, unmade, and remade. And that process continues. But the poor in the villages still, in large measure, also suffer from market failures. There is a big increase in the growth rate, economic growth rate, but that economic growth rate, many studies have shown, is in itself not sufficient to lift the poor out of poverty, to meet their expectations. So government interventions are necessary. Interventions by government, by non-government players are necessary to better the lot of the villagers. And in that direction, even though government has put in a number of programs, there are still gaps, and gaps in the delivery of services, gaps in the delivery of the programs. And I think it would be very beneficial, good, to have volunteers and voluntary organizations, non-governmental organizations, fill in those gaps, because there will be gaps in the government spectrum of delivery of services. And at the district level, we say that when there are funding shortages, there are gaps in funding, we provide for untied funds. Similarly, in the village, we need to have untied service providers who will be able to fill the gaps in the service spectrum. And that's where the volunteers, voluntary organizations, non-government organizations come in a big way and can contribute in large measure to the success of various government programs and initiatives. Gandhiji espoused, as we all know, sanitation, hygiene, himself cleaning toilets, and so on and so forth. It has been so many decades that we now realize the importance of it under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, that we have now taken to large initiatives on sanitation and hygiene, providing basic services in our villages. And that can uplift the villages very, very substantially. And that's something on which we need to lay emphasis. And that's something on which the volunteers and voluntary organizations come in big way in changing the behaviors of people. And these initiatives cannot really succeed and succeed in full measure unless the volunteers are there to bring about a change in the behaviors of people. So there, a very important role of the volunteers lies. And as I was mentioning, the true economic transformation in the villages can come about through a different type of economic activity, a different type of industrialization that lays emphasis on more economic dynamism in the villages and making the villages more self-sufficient. Gandhiji's concept of Gram Swaraj, and that can come about when you have decentralized rural industrialization, which Gandhiji thought about more than a century ago, and still we are accomplished that. In large measure, industry remains in urban areas. In peri-urban areas, we are trying to move industry through Shyam Prasad Mukherjee scheme and so on and so forth. But still we are yet to penetrate the rural areas in terms of industrialization. And that's an area in which we need to make headway and progress. And I now turn to volunteerism and its importance. I learned really about the importance of volunteerism when I was working in the Northeast during my district postings as a deputy commissioner in Arunachal Pradesh and the West Siang districts. And that's where I really understood the importance of volunteerism, the importance of missionary zeal, and importance of passion for work. So there I happened to be the chairman of a school, the Ramakrishna Mission School in the West Siang district of Alang, which really has transformed the educational scenario in that state. And that school with very meager resources through voluntary contributions and very little fees has really built up excellent infrastructure in that remote part of the country in those days, about 25 years back. And all that has been possible because of the missionary zeal and spirit of the Swamis of the Ramakrishna Mission. They really attached themselves so passionately with the organization and with their meager resources, getting teachers to that remote locality from different parts of the country and producing excellent results, which are not less than any of the best schools in the country. That I saw was possible only because of the great volunteerism and the missionary spirit of the Swamis. Similar was the situation with Vivekananda Kendriya Vidyalaya in a place called Jirdin. Again, that is done very well because of the missionary zeal and spirit of the people who were running the place. So that's when I realized that, look, government pours so many resources and employs so many people, but the outcomes of the government institutions lag far behind those with visionary leadership, those with missionary zeal, those with the spirit of volunteerism. And that spirit of volunteerism and passion can really drive institutions to excellence. And that's what we need to emphasize upon. And as Gandhiji laid emphasis on, during his freedom struggle, he managed to mobilize so many volunteers to fight the freedom struggle behind him. And he also productively engaged them in rural reconstruction when the political fights were not on, when the satyagrahas were not going on. Then he engaged them in rural reconstruction very productively. So I don't have to now underscore the importance of volunteerism and volunteerism in rural development. But there have been now, the volunteerism has taken different shapes in the current rural development programs, as Honorable Secretary was mentioning, that we now have the self-help groups and they're present in lakhs of numbers all over the country and organized very well through federations and apex level federations and so on. So we need to continue to foster the spirit of volunteerism in these self-help groups, because voluntary organizations now, there's a critique about the voluntary organizations in the country to say they are neither voluntary nor they are organizations. So to say, thereby meaning to say that that spirit of volunteerism is no longer there in the non-governmental organizations, in the voluntary organizations, nor are they so well organized to be able to deliver even the services that are entrusted to them by the government. So we need to refashion the volunteer organizations of the country, including the self-help groups, infuse dynamism in them, infuse in them that mission and passion to be able to deliver services. And I think the rural citizenry are really looking forward to delivery of basic services, such as operation and maintenance of toilets, providing proper drinking water supply, then cleaning of drains, and so on and so forth. So we in the NIRDPR, we have been fortunate to design modules of training for contracting out the services of panchayats on the sanitation and hygiene. So we would think that non-governmental organizations and voluntary organizations should step up to provide those services through the panchayats to the citizenry at large. And when the non-governmental organizations and voluntary organizations provide those services, we expect that the quality of services will be good and low cost, and they would not really be making so much profit while not providing services to the people. So this is one way in which the non-governmental organizations and voluntary organizations can engage with the panchayats in providing basic services. And another area which is very, very significant in our whole narrative about the poverty alleviation is people are steeped in poverty because of deprivation which has been there with the families for several generations. When a family gets steeped in deprivation and poverty for several generations, the mindset of the family completely changes. The family and the individual really doesn't want to fight poverty, doesn't want to really come out of it. So they get resigned to their fate. So here again, the voluntary organizations, they have to collaborate with the government, infuse in them a spirit of fighting, and infuse in them, encourage them to come out of poverty, make use of the government programs, and that's how the poverty situation in the rural areas can improve. So this is again another area I thought that the non-governmental organizations and voluntary organizations can contribute in large measure in the country. And a few of the points which are there is that, again, there is another narrative on the rural development to say that rural development programs have not done as well as they should have done because of the ossified social structures of the country. And unless those social structures are changed and there is a social change and transformation, the rural development programs of the country may not do as well as they're expected to do. So these issues of social transformation and social change is again something that the voluntary organizations can bring about. Non-governmental organizations can bring about, not so much the government. So this is again a precondition to the rapid success of rural development programs, and that has to precede the effective delivery of the rural development programs. Another key initiative that Gandhiji fostered and some of his disciples, including Nanaji Deshmukh, he fostered was the concept of an integrated village development, where we bring together the various silos of development departments and development initiatives in the village into an integrated concept to take household as the unit and see what is the income and income sources of the household, what are the expenditures of the household, how can we maximize the income, minimize the expenditures, and enhance the welfare of the household. So those concepts need to be taken forward. And I would not like to dilate much more on these aspects. We can speak endlessly about rural development, volunteerism, and so on. And I would not like to stand between you and our visionary secretary, Shri Nagendranath Sinha. And he is a person with a missionary zeal to transform the rural development sector in the country. And I'd like to invite him to now give his address. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And it is a very much enlightened, and you have covered so many aspects of volunteerism and Gandhian thoughts on volunteerism, which is very, very important. Now, we would like to invite our chief guest of this program, Sri Nagendranath Sinha, Honorable Secretary Rural Development, Government of India. Just briefing, Sri Nagendranath Sinha, he is a batch of 1987 IS officer from the Jharkhand cadre, and he is currently serving as the Secretary, Department of Rural Development, Government of India. Sri Sinha holds a degree in electronic engineering and also masters in health science, population and family health. With this brief introduction, I would like to request our Honorable Chief Guest and Honorable Secretary to address the gathering, particularly the rural development and volunteerism, which is the need of the hour. Sir, please.
For inviting me to this occasion of the seminar on rural development and volunteerism. This occasion, I like to thank the organizers and the speakers who have spoken. See, the Shri Dipankar, Shri Jnani, Smriti and Darshan Samiti, Sir Ramaswamy, Director of the NIRDP, Northeastern Regional Center.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Not very audible, sir.
It's not very audible. Okay. Dr. Jayanta Chaudhary, Mr. Laskar, Mr. Sadam, and everyone else present this webinar. I hope I am now audible.
Yes, sir.
So now with the kind of perspectives which have been provided by my previous speakers, it makes my task somewhat easier in terms of being able to build on the themes and perspectives which they have already done. That sense, standing on the shoulders of the giants who have come prior to me. Now, the question that we need to ask, do we equate volunteerism with the voluntary agencies? Is it something more than what we already have? And what is constituted by the core of the voluntary agencies that exist? My opinion, the volunteerism is something much more than what is already available. The voluntary agencies are merely one form of volunteerism which is organized through. But as was noted by that the organizations like self-help groups, cooperatives, Panchayati Raj institutions, these are organizations which kind of harness the power of the when will it be called voluntary effort? And the tasks that you carry out go much beyond what constitute your immediate concerns, what the effects thereof kind of directly be benefiting you. For example, if I do a job, get a salary, so there I am doing my job. But if I do a job from which I don't receive a salary or don't expect a salary, and the work is focused on the people are not my immediate kin. So the benefit is not to you or the family, but people beyond, where it will certainly be qualified as the activity and the spirit behind that can be anything which is organized and centered beyond your immediate concerns, your family's concerns, or that's a voluntary activity. So therefore, this discussion we should be discussing as to why is it that voluntarism is necessary, and have they become relevant more and more kind of entry of the state and the markets. I would argue that the voluntarism, the need for the voluntarism is still there. You need to harness them in order to kind of fill the need for the gaps that exist that won't get filled up just by the market and the state. So let us see in what manner the voluntarism kind of address the issues. One, the offerings of the state and the markets are generally through specific products and specific services. They are generally not platforms. By platforms, we mean the organizations and groups like Panchayati Raj institutions, self-help groups or women collectives, farmer producer organizations. They are platforms. Platforms not focus or address to a specific area, and they are capable of serving many other things. But generally, most of the programs, most of the services offered by the state or the market are limited to certain basic, very important importance cannot be denied. But the needs of the community, needs of the people are so multifarious that these services, these products cannot serve the entire of the needs of the community, and therefore you need to have people who kind of articulate the concerns, help community or individuals articulate their issues. They help communities face excluded or disadvantaged or marginalized community. They help them develop the vision, bridge the gap between awareness of a problem to the change of behavior. For example, I know that smoking is harmful, but do I actually keep off that? Who will help a person who is smoker from awareness of the problem to the addressing change of behavior? This change of behavior needs to be brought about and will be brought about and is brought about by the people who are kind of more as a volunteers. Therefore, in that sense, many of the problems of the rural development which need to be addressed by change of behavior will be addressed by volunteers. Therefore, appropriate behavior, taking away of habits like alcoholism or concern for the environment or improving the educational situation or improving the drainage situation within the locations or many other things. The sky is the limit. Sense, the full variety of needs of the communities. These areas can be identified and the community organized to help themselves to serve them. It is not necessary that you always need public services, public resources, or market services, market resources to address these problems. I remember there was a community nearby Ranchi. Its name is Amahatu, some such name, where the people decided that their village there would not be any scrap of paper or plastic. So in the morning, they decided to ask their children, well, of course, going to school, to go out and clean the village. So their village was started. These people were in the habit of stealing the local liquor. So they decided collectively that they would not bring the local liquor and about destroying all the such distillery kind of units that have been set up. And from that day onwards, the community stopped using cream of local liquor as a source of income. So there are many areas of activities which the community has the need, and they can go about addressing those needs if they decide. There, the spirit of volunteerism which resides in the community very effective, very helpful. Volunteerism also changes the kind of the source of power to make that change. Even when we go to the villages, we are confronted with the answers that government has not done it. So, but when people become self-reliant, which is one of the things that we need to realize for this season of 75th anniversary of independence, we need to be the power, that power of change, and we need to steer that change. Till unless we do that change, as a whole in a large manner will affect, transform our entire well-being, not happen. So through the spirit of voluntarism, you acquire the power to become an active agent of change. The issue of equity can be addressed to a very large extent by voluntarism. Without the spirit of voluntarism, the issues of equity, the issue of inclusion will not be possible. Say, take for example, the issue, the case presented by Mr. Saddam Jabam. There, he realized, or Mr. Custer, they realized that their community members are helpless. They need to not only take care of their health needs, they need to take care of their medical needs, their nutritional needs. So, kind of identify such people who have been left out by the developmental process or marginalized by the developmental process. Try to work with them in order to address the issue of the issues that are facing them, and then bring about issues of motivation, pressure and maintenance, by so all the voluntarism is necessary to address the issue of needs and make the solution permanent, sure the equity and the inclusion, sure that gains that have been made are permanent. Now I would like to mention that the with the lot of agency coming the hands of the Panchayati Raj institutions and the CBUs and the other community-based organizations like FPOs. Is the role of the voluntary agencies or the NGOs we traditionally call? Is it have they become obsolete, or is there still any need for them? My opinion, previously they used to define the needs of the community. Now the needs of the countries are defined by the Panchayati Raj institutions or such other community bodies, CBOs. So their role from what was earlier paternalistic or overarching articulator, provider, necessary services. It has changed from that these to the another area where they are kind of providers of technical knowledge, providers of builders of capacity, development of organizations, finding market linkage, doing research and advocacy, addressing the issues of equity, and then the issues that we are not able to see on a smaller plane, issues like climate change. Don't always see them. And, people who are much more conscious and aware of the present problems are sitting as a whole, society and the earth as a whole. So they can connect with the local issues. These kind of transferers or articulators of need and connecting global to local are the areas, and there is still a large amount of voluntary agencies and NGOs traditional sense. Now, where do we see them? See the voluntary and are there platforms agencies for country effort and government? So, as was mentioned earlier, the Panchayati Raj institutions themselves provide great example of where the voluntary spirit is. Don't work for yourself, you work for people, serving their needs. It's a great example of platform, not brought about by legislation, but quite very solid, strong platform for expressing the spirit, inherent spirit of volunteerism that all of us, it's just that expressing these so that they can serve the needs. And the community-based organizations constitute women collectives, the farmer collectives. They also are excellent platforms for serving needs. The that we see for the women collectives, we don't limit ourselves to the empowerment of women per se, individual empowerment. We also think of a future where they are collectively empowered to make changes so that the capacity and productivity potential of the not only there but also the entire community is mobilized and expressed and articulated. So it is not only the livelihood, it is not only thrift and credit. You also see them as a very important source of change of social inclusion and social development. That is important component in our programs, which addresses the needs of elderly, addresses the need of disabilities, DVTs, and vulnerable tribal groups. So look after the issues of the issue of Panchayati Raj, CBO, SMG convergence, at the nutritional health. I think at this time, I request colleagues, if we are this would be a persons, all people present here that these voluntary groups must work together. If you don't work together, work collectively, there is always this possibility that you will work at cross purposes. There's always this possibility that the full potential of the effort that can be mobilized for improving the functioning of the programs cannot be realized. Say, for example, Panchayati Raj, any party, the functioning of the Gram Sabhas, the Gram Panchayats in their Gram Sabhas have started preparing their Gram Panchayat, which there is a component of village poverty, kind of ensures that not only their livelihood needs are met, needs for entitlements are also resources are mobilized. So I would urge at this occasion that we should look at convergence of the efforts between different sources of in our institutions, SHGs, and higher level collectives, cooperatives. All of us must bring our efforts. That is the needs of the one of the platforms that programs have is known as Gram Panchayat Development. Gram Panchayat Development programs normally at this moment only address the issue of the convergence of resources for addressing service gaps and infrastructures gap that do exist, but their original conception, and we always encourage Gram Panchayats make sure that they take place and work towards the issue of developments, issues of development which are no cost development. Say, for example, to decide that disputes within the communities are resolved, there would be no dispute pending in the so a decision like this can be if there are child marriages taking place within your community and say community decides we will stop the child marriages. If there are children who are malnourished, and if the community decides that we will address the issue of malnutrition, there are issues of lack of primary storage of water. These could be addressed. There are many areas which could be addressed by work. One of the very large areas which I consider here is the issue of watershed treatment in the entire country. We have seen, we have done a very small calculation, and we see that we should be in a position to treat our entire land so that the issues or flooding that we face can be mitigated to a very substantial extent. What we now see that there are places which receives the highest rainfall within the country. Meghalaya, places like Cherrapunji, etc. Yet the people suffer from lack of water in summers. So there are places where there are not, because there is a long spell of lack of rains in monsoon. Northeast may not be facing this problem, but other parts of the country are not so fortunate as Northeast. There, even if the rainfall monsoon is good, you will find droughts affecting. So, for addressing these problems, our district is working towards a large-scale program of addressing them through program of watershed treatment of the entire tree. We see that we have the necessary resources from Mahatma Gandhi Narega, as CAMPA, then there are state programs and the other central programs. Now, what will we do there? We will identify all the works that are necessary to stop the rainfall to the surface room. Let the rainfall go to the underground and charge the aquifer, and the movement of water would be only through the aquifer. So if these the underground water availability will increase, water table will go up, moisture seen for the plants improve, and the cropping intensity will go up. So in all, it will be quite beneficial, and this is needed in view of the climate change. You may very well ask, where is the spirit of voluntarism here? I would argue that spirit of voluntarism here is from two sources. One is that not every work will be carried out with the resources. Out of 100 works, some works will need to be carried out by the. These works will be needed to be maintained so that benefits of these works as well. Thirdly, not many people will become convinced as to the need for carrying out such works, because there will be people who will think that this does not bring them any immediate benefits. Few new plantations on hills, etc., which have become barren. So it's not serve for immediate purpose. Charges the that sense is voluntary effort, which is as the environment and as a whole. That sense, because you are not looking only at person, but then there are people, there are animals, there are insects, there are plants. They are also important constituents and stakeholders in the entire web of living. And our voluntary effort and voluntary actions should also be addressing the needs of all such living beings. By working for the environment, addressing those needs. Therefore, any work towards them be a very good example of voluntarism. I would urge all the people who are working on the ground to kind of involve themselves in watershed treatment, so that our future generations are not affected by the climate change, which is very quickly manifesting itself. Now I would like to close my address by taking you to giving you a live example of work which is done on the other shore of the country. Northeast is the eastern part, western part is a district called Kutch. And there is a village Gram Panchayat called Punaria. So Punaria's Sarpanch, the office in 2017 decided that the kind of dismal situation that was there in his Gram Panchayat did not be there. So he not only called the board members, but also constituted bands of volunteers, groups of volunteers. In his entire Gram Panchayat, he has about 300 volunteers working on different parts of the activity within this area. So some of these may concern working lesson shops, schools, health centers, and sports, and many other areas. So many youth of the community were, and they also interacted with the public programs and did many water conservation works. The COVID period, they didn't have a single death. The water situation there has been the migration from the Gram Panchayat and the village have stopped. There are jobs for people throughout the year. And whether they be poor members of the community or any other member, everyone has enough job. Self. I think the issue for assess for the people who come from the Gram Panchayati Raj institution is to seek out volunteers platforms, based organizations, cooperatives, etc. Youth also identify different areas which clearly tell the problem that they need to address. Give them a specific time, use them, motivate them, support them, with resources, help them mobilize their resources. I think you can bring about remarkable change. Growth there would not be anything short of that Northeast, which has always prided itself the city spirit, is indeed able to take advantage of excellent with them and is able to utilize its resources, people sources, state market agencies, and many other areas of support. They are able to fashion this in a manner in which needs of not only social, cultural, psychological, educational, all such needs are satisfied and very integrated. That similar regularities be organized by both the as well as the Samiti and Darshan Samiti, so that the less promise and the premise that was available in our constitution of ensuring holistic development. These is promise is a constitution. Thank you very much again for providing me opportunity of addressing this imminent gathering. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspirational speech. Obviously, we will definitely work on this. We will definitely work on this path, sir. I'm sure that we will be following your path. I think now Jayanto can take over the mic and they can continue.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We are enlightened and delighted to hear from you. Though there was a little bit crack in the audio system, but still. Now we would like to move to our next state, that is the state Nagaland. And in Nagaland, we have a community volunteerism, the case study, and the experience will be shared by Ms. Bishu Rabha Khorcha. She is an independent journalist, and this story, and she obviously is also from the same community, same locality, and she has done wonderful work. So she is practicing the same thing, and as well as her writing. And we got this news from the Hindu. It was already published from there, and we requested her to share her experience of the community volunteerism, the village they are working, and the village all together. The story is about all together how the villagers, 5 villagers, they have contributed the vegetables to the other villages also as during the time of COVID. So we now like to listen from Ms. Rita, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am grateful for this opportunity to share something about what a group of young people are doing in my village. I want to start by giving a brief introduction about Javame, where I hail from. Javame village is located about 80 kilometers away from the state capital, Kohima, and is particularly known for its rich produce of cabbage and potatoes. While farming has been an age-old tradition that has been passed on from generation to the other, the village has seen an extensive growth in the production of organic vegetables in the last decade. The village has also been promoting organic farming since 2005. With the prohibition of use of any kind of fertilizers, everything that is grown in the village is organic. Further been declared a vegetable village by the government of Nagaland in 2010, Javame has lived up to its name by not only cultivating vegetables which are purely organic, but also producing them on a large scale. The success story of Javame as a vegetable village has been overwhelming for more reasons than one. It has also generated extra income for the community of farmers who otherwise do not have any other means of income. Interestingly, a good number of school dropouts have also found a new purpose in life, even as they are hired for tasks such as packaging and loading. Parents who earlier struggled to send their children to school for lack of sufficient income can now afford to send them to better schools and colleges. There are clear signs of the farming community in the village, leading more comfortable lives even as they find economic stability through cultivation of cabbage and potatoes. Past records state that the revenue generated from the sale of these vegetables have crossed rupees 50 lakhs during 2009 and 10. In the following year, the annual income was rupees 99.5 lakhs, while the year 2011-12 saw an annual income of rupees 1.5 crores and subsequently rupees 1.7 crores in 2013. The annual income of the farmers has seen an increasing trend over the years. But with the pandemic affecting everybody, Javame village has estimated a loss of about 1,50,00,000 rupees as an annual general income of farmers from selling cabbage, potatoes, and other horti products due to the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown last year. The pandemic has caused huge loss to the farmers for lack of market in view of the situation. But one of the good things that has emerged out of the situation is young people returning back to the village during the period of lockdown and engaging themselves in farming activities. The Cristo Nagas Club of Javame village is one of the shining examples in this regard. This group comprises of young farmers, graduates, entrepreneurs, teachers, government servants, and young professionals, and have been carrying out commendable services to the community, including assisting the elderly farmers and the needy in the village in transplanting paddy. One of the remarkable things that the club took up last year was the initiative to cultivate some of the abandoned paddy fields in the village. This was also their first time coming together as a group to cultivate in this manner. The club says that one of the things that the pandemic has taught them is the importance of growing their own food and becoming self-reliant. It is with this same spirit that the club hopes to continue paddy cultivation. I had spoken with the club's president sometime in the early part of this year, and he had expressed during that time that they will continue to make farming an integral part of the activities that they undertake. Interestingly, not all the members of the club are based in the village except for the farmer members. The rest are spread across different places in the state. But despite this challenge, they also want to ensure that they come together during the most crucial part of cultivation, such as the time of paddy transplantation and during harvest. All the members hail from a farming background, but they also share that last year, when they decided to take up group cultivation as a club, it was also their first experience to cultivate independently without their parents. In the last decade, many young people have moved to urban towns and cities, and with fewer people in villages across the state now, many fields have been left abandoned over the years. Despite the fact that there is so much scope and potential in rural development, not only through farming, but also areas such as rural tourism. In the light of this scenario, I think the Cristo Nagas Club has taken a big leap in reviving the age-old traditions of farming in Nagaland. The best part is that they are continuing with this initiative. I will end my short sharing here. Thank you once again for this privilege.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Rita Kocha. And we have heard that wonderful experience that club is doing all over Nagaland, and particularly in your district. During the COVID period, they are making a true sense of volunteerism. Please stay with us. If in the interactive session, if there is some question or some more, people are asking for anything from you, please stay with us. Now, we would like to go to our team Arunachal, and the Arunachal team, we have central group, the president Chun Ajin SHG, Miss Lisi Yania, and she will present that how it's the case of women volunteerism, how the self-help group, they have done good work in the Arunachal Pradesh. And we have with us also from SRLM, they are guiding this all SHGs. So from SRLM, Ms. Gulu is also there. So I will request both of them, Adap Gulu and Ms. Shasi.
Okay. Good evening.
Share their experience. Adap, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, first of all, to Jayanta for giving us this opportunity. But before that, good evening to our Secretary, sir, and all the dignitaries who are present here. and it's really nice to hearing from, you know, across all the northeastern states what they are doing the best during this COVID, or even without this, even when there was no COVID, they have been doing very good work. So from Arunachal, we are presenting a small case study. It may sound small, but from the community perspective, it is a huge achievement for them. I am Adab Golo, State Mission Manager, looking after IBCV section, Arunachal State Rural Livelihoods Mission. And today we are going to present one of the case studies that had taken place during this COVID time. Of course, there were many good practices and many best practices during the COVID session where our women voluntary, women self-help groups have taken in all the districts wherever we are there. But unfortunately, many of the blocks, many of the district headquarters, we are now network issue is there. Then because of the landslide, because of the poor internet connectivity, so we could not catch hold with many SHG members. But we are with one of the best SHGs nearby state, Itanagar. They are Chun Ajin self-help group from Yachuli block, that is under Lower Subansiri district. So one of the what they have done during the COVID situation, during both this first wave as well as during this second wave, how they have voluntarily worked without, you know, pushing from external push from they themselves came out and helped the government frontline workers when there was no supply of food, no supply of, you know, any kind of itineraries and services to them, but they themselves, these women SGs came up and they helped them. And even to the rural women and old age people, they have contributed some amount of cash. They also contributed eatable food and ration, and also mask provision they have done on their own without supporting from any other sources. So this is a huge achievement for our SHG दीदी. So now I would welcome, मैं हमारे SHG दीदी जो लिसी यान्या है, मैं उनको बुलाना चाहती हूँ कि वो अपने SHG कम्युनिटी दीदी के शब्द से सुनने से बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा है मेरे से सुनने के बजाय. So I would like to request her to highlight and share her experience, how she has done in this line during these 2 years of COVID pandemic time. I would like to request Lisi Yanya to speak and share her experiences with our dignitaries and with all other, you know, participants in this platform. Lisi Yanya, over to you.
थैंक यू अदब मैम, और सभी को नमस्कार मेरा तरफ से. मैं लिसी यन्या, लोअर सुबनसिरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट येचुली ब्लॉक का एसएसजी मेंबर हूँ. मैम, ये कोरोना का समय में हम लोग लास्ट 20 में हम लोग ने के वो लॉकडाउन हुआ था, उसमें 2 महीना का, तो उसमें हम लोग ने पुलिस और डॉक्टर लोग का ड्यूटी हम लोग यहाँ में बस्ती में दिया हुआ था बहुत दिन, जहाँ से हम लोग का बस्ती ऐसा जगह में है जहाँ से 5 डिस्ट्रिक्ट लोग क्रॉस करके जाता है. तो हम लोग का जॉनसन पॉइंट है, तो उसमें हम लोग ने जो ड्यूटी करने वाला को हम लोग लंच डिनर जो कुछ हम लोग से बन सकता है हम लोग प्रोवाइड किया था. इसके में हम लोग का यहाँ में ये लेबर लोग है जो जिसका बच्चा लोग, क्योंकि वो लोग आसाम नहीं जा पाया था उसमें लॉकडाउन का समय में, तो कपड़ा नहीं था वो लोग का ठंडा दिन का समय में, तो उस समय भी हम लोग ने प्रोवाइड किया वो लोग को. नया कपड़ा तो नहीं था, फिर भी हम लोग से जो बन पड़ा, जैसे कि हम लोग का बच्चा का कपड़ा जो छोटा हो जाता है और हम लोग को जो कपड़ा फिट नहीं आता है वो सबको हम लोग देख के अच्छा से वॉश करके हम लोग ने वो लोग को लेबर लोग को फैमिली लोग को हम लोग डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया था. इसके बाद में हम लोग को बीपीएल कार्ड में राशन मिलता है हम लोग को 3 रुपीज में पर केजी 3 रुपीज करके. तो वो हम लोग बीपीएल कार्ड को जब हम लोग को जरूरी नहीं होने से साउंड
Yes.
हाँ,
आप बोलिए.
हाँ, बीपीएल कार्ड हम लोग को सर मिलता है यहाँ में ये 3 रुपीज पर केजी करके. तो उसको हम लोग का जरूरी नहीं होने से हम लोग वो कार्ड को
I think Mr. Aradhar's number is audio is unmute, so disturbance is coming from.
Yes. Please carry on. Please carry on.
Yeah, please carry on.
हेलो
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ तो वो ओल्ड एज वाला को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया था. इसके बाद में मैम ये रिसेंटली हम लोग 2021 में हम लोग ये कोरोना वैक्सीनेशन के लिए अवेयरनेस किया था हम लोग का ग्रुप ने कि हम लोग का बस्ती का लोग ये बोल रहा था कि हम लोग वैक्सीन नहीं लेगा, वैक्सीन लेने से अपनी 2 इयर्स का अंदर में डेथ हो जाता है. ऐसे वो लोग का दिल में डर एक बैठ गया था. वो लोग शायद फेसबुक ये सब से देख के वो लोग का दिल में डर बैठ गया था. तो उसको भी हम लोग अवेयरनेस किया. इसके बाद कल ही हमें एक कोरोना वैक्सीनेशन का हम लोग अवेयरनेस कैंप करके इसके बाद में वहाँ में जितना लोगों ने वैक्सीन नहीं लिया था उसको हम लोग लेने दिए. उसके मुताबिक 35 फैमिली था, लेकिन कल वैक्सीन मिला है, दिया है हम लोग 70 लोगों को. इस वैक्सीन भी कम पड़ गया था तो डॉक्टर सर ने बोला कि नेक्स्ट टाइम और ये मंथ का अंदर में आके वो लोग वैक्सीन कंप्लीट करेगा. और जिसको और नहीं मिला है उसको भी हम लोग सर्वे करने के लिए बोला है, तो उसको हम लोग कर रहे हैं मैम. इस बात में यहाँ में हम लोग का यहाँ में कल टेस्ट भी हुआ था. तो टेस्ट में हम लोग का 2 आदमी को पॉजिटिव केस मिला था. तो पॉजिटिव वाला आसाम का था. तो हम लोग ने ग्रुप ने कल शाम को ही वो लोग जब वो लोग को पॉजिटिव मिला है तब कल शाम को ही हम लोग थोड़ा फंड उठा के हम लोग उसको जो वो दोनों को भेज दिया अपना जगह में आसाम में भेज दिया मैम. इसके बाद में हम लोग ओल्ड एज वाला जो अभी खाने अरेंज नहीं कर सकते उसको भी थोड़ा सा हम लोग फंड जमा करके हम लोग दिया है. ये हम लोग वीकली मैम 50 रुपीज करता है वीकली सेविंग. तो वही सेविंग से 2,000 करके टोटल 10 मेंबर को हम लोग दिया था. टोटल हम लोग 20,000 हम लोग जमा करके वो लोग को दिया था. तो ये है इस बार. और हम लोग अभी एक प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं कि यहाँ में हम लोग इसमें एक ये ओल्ड एज वाला फैमिली है जिसका बच्चा नहीं है, दोनों का पहले से ही बच्चा नहीं, दोनों सिर्फ है. तो वो दोनों का घर का कंडीशन बहुत ही खराब है. तो उसको हम लोग घर को बना देगा बोल के हम लोग सामान अभी हम लोग कलेक्ट कर रहा है. वो हम लोग BRF फंड से थोड़ा सा PLF से प्राइमरी लेवल फेडरेशन हम लोग हेल्प मांगेगा बोल के. इतना ही. थैंक यू मैम.
Thank you. Thank you. In fact, our DG sir also talking about that voluntary experiences in Arunachal Pradesh. It has long history of volunteerism. Thank you for sharing with us, and thank you. Thank you for that. And,
वेलकम सर.
Okay, okay. And hope आप लोग ये अच्छा काम कंटिन्यू करेंगे और आपका कम्युनिटी में भला होगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हम लोगों के साथ रहने के लिए आपको धन्यवाद. Now may I move to Mizoram? Mr. Changte, are you there? Mr. Changte, are you there? Mr. Changte, are you there? Okay. Otherwise, Mr. Nathan? Mr. Nathan? Mr. Nathan, are you there? Mr.
He is
Nathan
there,
from,
yes.
Yeah, from Meghalaya.
I think they have
He
left.
is there, he is there.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Welcome. Yeah.
Yes.
So now we are going to Meghalaya. Meghalaya, they have done very good work in the community level, and he is the Mr. Nathan is a community leader. Is a chief. Is called the Basan, right? The Basan.
Yes,
and
yes,
community leader, and he is working on that. This is a case of community volunteerism. In the Shillong, in the locality, they have done some wonderful work, and he is the committee of the COVID committee. So, as a member of the COVID committee and also the headman of the community, he has done some good work. So, his name was recommended to us, and now I would like to request Mr. Nathan to share his experience. Please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good evening to everyone, all the dignitaries present here today. I am Mr. Nathan Thankil, the Basan or the chief of the Nongse locality from Shillong. So I would like to thank you for giving this opportunity to speak on behalf of the COVID community of Nongse locality. And present here with me today is Mr. Daniel Thankil. You can see on your screen, who is also our advisor and also the PE of the Honorable Chief Minister, and our Secretary of the COVID Committee, Shri Willie Thankil, who have done wonderful work in this in our community. And also present here with us today is the headman of the Nokse locality. So thank you so much, sir. We would like to just express just brief. We have formed this committee since the outbreak of this pandemic in 2020. And mostly, as Sir DG has just mentioned, our members are mostly volunteers. We drawn out from this our own locality, from our locality. So we have done tremendous work along with the district administration and the health department in rendering valuable service during this pandemic period. Just a brief while, sir, so that you can get the brief introduction. Our locality has about 1,200 households, and we have about 6,000 people living in our locality, and these are comprises of many different strata of society. But as you know, here in Meghalaya, and especially in the Khasi and Jaintia Hills, we have this Darbar Shinong. The Darbar Shinong mostly is a kind of a voluntary organization. It can be said to be equivalent to this Gram Panchayat. The Darbar Shinong will look into the welfare of the society, like we help this government authority, the poor people to identify and ensure that through the PDS system, the people get the ration card and this job under MNRGA. And under the benefit also, we are looked after by this Darbar Shinong. So we are also part of that Darbar Shinong. And then besides that, we have also very fortunately, we have our own water source, which we were able to provide drinking water to the household, to all the households. And since 1986, these are also with that, along with the assistance of the PHE department. So, sir, even though we are providing water for the people in our locality, those who have their own houses, so we charge only the minimum amount of just 130 rupees and 130 rupees per month. And moreover, sir, those people who cannot afford their own houses and who stay in rented accommodation, we provide them free water connection through public tap. This is our. I want to tell you so that how our committee was able to generate fund. And besides that, our Darbar Shinong, we collect from the voluntary of the people. We collect only 30 rupees a month. This goes for the developmental work of the locality, and also during the maintenance, and also for this in the time of death or anything occurring in our locality. So basically, these are the funds which we were able to utilize during this pandemic. Because after we formed this COVID committee, sir, during this pandemic, we did not receive any funding from we did not receive any direct funding from the government sources, but we were able to manage. So what we were able to manage, we got because of the generation through the generous donation of this Darbar Shinong, and of course the local MLA has helped a lot to us, the local MLA and other public representatives, and also the local residents who are very generous. They have helped us a lot, and through this we are able to sustain lots of people during this lockdown period since last year. And our volunteer has tirelessly worked day and night to ensure each and every household get adequate food supply. Just last year, sir, under the supervision of this of the health department and the BDO, we have set up 3 COVID isolation center for migrant workers and students returning home. And in this center, sir, we spend a lot of money. But even though we didn't have any resources, but through the Darbar Shinong and the contribution, we were able to manage, sir. And after that, sir, after this relaxation and the slowdown of this pandemic, and then this COVID committee continue to work in the tandem with the district administration and health department to ensure people follow the COVID protocol of mask wearing and social distance while purchasing items from the markets, because people going to markets, we maintain all these things. And then our volunteer constantly watch the people and distributed COVID-related brochure to ensure people follow the safety protocols. And also posters and notices were distributed by the health department are posted all over the locality to make aware people of the stain. Our volunteers also ensure that farmers, these construction workers, domestic workers, NRGs, and all those workers follows this COVID protocol while going about their works. So, but unfortunately, sir, despite all this precaution, our locality in the month of April 2000 of this year, 2021, we suffered a terrible tragedy as 4 lives were lost due to this pandemic. But as most of the victims were returnees from outside, so what will happen then? Then this disease, the pandemic began to spread in the whole of the locality. And active case, which we earlier year we didn't experience anything. Suddenly, after April, we experienced more than 80 plus COVID cases. This caused very alarming for us. It caused great alarm for us. And then through the consultation with the health authorities and the BDO, we conduct the random testing. And during that period of random testing, sir, we found about 50 positive cases. And then immediately after that, the entire locality we declare as a what we call containment zone, sir. And during those containment zone period, our volunteer work round the clock, sir, to ensure that people got enough adequate food and safety of the people. But luckily, sir, through this stringent measure we adopted and through the help of our volunteer, we did not suffer any more tragedy, and our locality become free of the active case. And through this conference, sir, we want to highlight our experience based on our experience, which we feel that our locality and adjoining localities require, because as it is now, we still lack these basic facilities, which if the government authorities through your help, sir, is able to provide, then it will be a tremendous boost to the health service for the people. Our first priority, sir, would be we want to upgrade this. We have this small dispensary with only 2 doctors at Khatmail, and then this dispensary is catering to about, now we have more than, if you combine the population, is about more than 30,000 people. So this just dispensary cannot cater to this much population. So through this conference, we want to highlight, because as it is, we are facing a huge problem because of the constricting resources. And another case, we want also, sir, to highlight that we need this number of workers, because as it is, 2 people covering for 30,000 people is very, 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 very sorry to say. So what we wanted more is more doctor, most A&M nurses, then Agwan and Wendy, the ASHA workers, so that we can really help the people. As we are just a voluntary organization, so we would like to stress through this conference that we need all these things, sir. And also, sir, we found that during this pandemic, especially during this lockdown period, and when people suffer and we have to move them to the hospital, it's very, very difficult, sir, because we don't have any ambulance. So through this, we want to highlight our plight, sir, but somehow we manage through our volunteers. So we have to stick our own neck. We have to bring our own car and transport the people. So these are the things which I really appreciate. If through you, sir, we can help all these people who are suffering. And sir, one more thing we would like through this through this conference, because of this pandemic, most of the people, even though we can provide through this ration card and PDS system and everything, the basic requirement of food, but the people they are suffering so much from lacking of work. So we have submitted to the government very development scheme. So hopefully we can get all these things, sir. Thank you. I've taken so much of your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I mean, lot of things to say because of your experience, but in the 5 minutes, we also aware about that. But what to do? We have to go now to Sikkim. From Meghalaya to Sikkim. Now we are going because our friend Mr. Suren Mohora is waiting for us. Mr. Suren, are you there? Mr. Suren, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Mr. Suren?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Suren, okay. So let me tell ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Suren Mohra is a field facilitator promoted by State Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Sikkim. Okay, and individual level, he has donated his blood, and also, I mean, he's a blood donor, and 60 times he has made the blood donation, and conducted 29 mini and 3 mega blood donation camp, and formed village COVID management committee in 32 wards in 5 GP under Sumbuk block and monitoring them, and volunteer to bring the vaccination from the Meli PHCs and to Turuk. So with his own effort, so we put him in the, and it was recommended from the SIRD itself because it's a unique case of volunteerism at the individual level, and we requested him to share his effort of volunteerism in Sikkim. So with this, over to Mr. Suren, please. We are not listening to you.
Now, sir.
Yes, okay.
Respected Secretary Saab, respected DG Saab, and other dignitaries present out here, मैं सुरेन मोहरा फील्ड फैसिलिटेटर के रूप में राज्य ग्रामीण विकास संस्थान सिक्किम से विशेष मैंने जो पर्सनल लेवल में जो वॉलंटियरिज्म के फील्ड में जो सर्विसेज रेंडर किया है कि इसको शेयर करने के लिए मुझे ये जो अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया गया है इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मेरा स्कूल डेज से ही भारत स्काउट्स एंड गाइड्स में जब मैं था वहाँ से ही मेरे जीवन में ये वॉलंटियरिज्म स्टार्ट हो गया है। उसके बाद मेरा स्कूल डेज में NSS वॉलंटियर्स रहे के, उसके बाद नेहरू युवा केंद्र में नेशनल सर्विस वॉलंटियर, इसी तरह से मैं आगे बढ़ता गया। अभी मैं राज्य ग्रामीण विकास संस्थान सिक्किम में एक क्षेत्र सहकर्ता के रूप में काम कर रहा हूँ और इसी के तहत हम लोगों ने विशेष करके ये ब्लड डोनेशन के फील्ड में काम किया है। सबसे पहले 8 फ्रेंड्स के यूथ फ्रेंड्स के साथ मिल के मेरे अगुवाई में सिक्किम में वॉलंटरी ब्लड डोनर्स एसोसिएशन ऑफ सिक्किम करके हम लोगों ने फॉर्म किया था और शुरू में सिर्फ हम लोग 8 यूथ वॉलंटियर्स थे, पर आज के डेट में आपको 13,000 यूथ वॉलंटियर्स हमारे पास है सिक्किम के सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में मिला के। अभी हम एक साथ में 13,000 यूनिट ब्लड डोनेट कर सकते हैं, ऐसा हमारा स्ट्रेंथ अभी बन गया है। मेरा सेंचुरी पहुंचाने का मेरा इरादा है और आज के डेट तक मैंने 60 टाइम्स इंडिविजुअल लेवल में ब्लड डोनेट किया है। और ये जब ये पेंडेमिक शुरू हुआ सिक्किम में स्पेशली पिछले साल के मार्च महीने से आज के डेट तक मैंने मेरे अगुवाई में विशेष करके 23 ये जो मिनी ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप्स लगाए हैं और 3 मेगा ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप्स लगाए हैं, जिसमें से ऑलमोस्ट 1300 यूनिट से ज़्यादा ब्लड हम लोगों ने नीडी पीपल के लिए ये लॉकडाउन के पीरियड में यूथ वॉलंटियर्स को मोबिलाइज करके ब्लड डोनेशन किया है और लोगों का जीवन बचाने के फील्ड में हम लोगों ने काम किया है। इसी के साथ साथ मैं राज्य ग्रामीण विकास संस्थान और पंचायती राज सिक्किम का एक ब्लॉक लेवल का एम्प्लॉई हूँ और मेरा डायरेक्टर साहब श्री विशाल मुखिया जी और डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ पंचायती राज सिक्किम का डायरेक्टर साहब श्री प्रभाकर राय सर जी का गाइडेंस में उनका जो सपोर्ट से हम लोगों ने विशेष करके मल्ली का जहाँ पे मल्ली ब्लॉक में जहाँ पे मैं पोस्टेड हूँ वहाँ पे 32 जीपी वार्ड्स है अंडर 5 ग्राम पंचायत यूनिट्स। वहाँ पे विलेज कोविड मैनेजमेंट कमिटी हम लोगों ने फॉर्म किया है और उसमें विशेष करके ये NGO, CBOs, SHGs, आशा वर्कर, आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स, टीचर्स और डिफरेंट जो रिटायर्ड ऑफिसर्स है उन लोगों को समावेश करके और करके PRI रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स जिसमें इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स और फंक्शनरीज है उन लोगों को इंक्लूड करके ये ग्रामीण तृणमूल तह पे जो विलेज कोविड मैनेजमेंट कमिटी बनाए और उसको कंटिन्यूअसली उनका जो कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग है उनका रोल क्या है, अभी ये कोविड को कैसे फाइट करना है और गांव लेवल में गांव स्तर में किस तरह से अपना भूमिका निर्वाह करना है, इसके ऊपर पूरा मॉनिटरिंग का और उसका ओरिएंटेशन का काम मेरा ऑफिस का सपोर्ट से मेरा डायरेक्टर साहब का निर्देशन में सब किया है। और इसी के साथ साथ इंडिविजुअल लेवल में बोलने में मैंने मेरा खुद का जो व्हीकल है उसको अभी लॉकडाउन के पीरियड में पूरा गाड़ी भी नहीं चल रहा था तो मैंने वॉलंटियरली मेरा गाड़ी दे दिया मेरा फैमिली मेंबर को कंसल्ट करके और उसको एक मेडिकल इमरजेंसी के रूप में दे दिया। और उस लॉकडाउन के पीरियड में यदि कोई पूरा सीवियर बीमारी पड़ जाता है तो उसको हॉस्पिटल फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट फ्री ट्रांसपोर्टेशन मैंने दे दिया और उनको हॉस्पिटल ले जाना लाना और किसी का इमरजेंसी में उनका दवा खरीदना हो उनका मेडिसिन ले जाना हो, ये सब सर्विसेज मैंने इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे भी रेंडर। इसी के साथ साथ जो दूसरा बात आया कि यहाँ पे मल्ली ब्लॉक में हमारा 4 वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर्स है और उसमें मल्ली करके हमारा जो प्लेस है वहाँ पे हमारा प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर है, वहाँ से वैक्सीन का वो जो वायल है उसको उठा के लेकर आना है और डिफरेंट एरिया में हिल का डिफरेंट एरिया में वो हमारा वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर लोकेटेड है। तो मैंने वॉलंटियर करके वो प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर से वो सब वैक्सीन सुबह में खुद डिफरेंट वैक्सीन में ड्रॉप करते करते फिर शाम को उसका जो एम्प्टी वायल से उसको फिर रिसीव करके अगेन उसको प्राइमरी हेल्थ सब सेंटर में पहुंचाने का काम इस तरह से किया है और ये जारी है, मैं कर रहा हूँ। इसी के साथ साथ खुद का कैपेसिटी में मैंने जो रिलीफ केसेस हैं वो देने का काम किया है और इसी का साथ साथ जो कोविड केयर सेंटर्स है फैसिलिटी क्वारंटीन सेंटर्स जो डिपार्टमेंट से यहाँ पे निर्माण किया गया था इस्टेब्लिश किया गया था उसको उसमें विशेष करके एक वॉलंटियर के रूप में वहाँ जाके मैंने काम किया है वॉलंटियर। और इसी के सल्ली करके जिस ब्लॉक में मैं पोस्टिंग हूँ वो सिक्किम में एंटर करने का एक एंट्री पॉइंट है और उस एंट्री पॉइंट में भी गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्क्रीनिंग कैंप रखा हुआ था और वो स्क्रीनिंग कैंप में भी मैं इंडिविजुअली एक का ये एक एम्प्लॉय होने के नाते वहाँ पे भी मैं एक फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर के रूप में जाके वहाँ पे भी जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का काम था जो भी रिटर्न ही है उनका सबका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करने का काम ये सब किया है। और इसी का साथ साथ जो ये लॉकडाउन के पीरियड में विशेष करके मैंने और मेरा ऑफिस का जो डायरेक्शन में एक फैमिली फार्मिंग बोल के एक तो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम है उसको बहुत प्रोपागेट किया क्योंकि लॉकडाउन के टाइम में सब लोग घर में आकर बैठे हुए थे। इस टाइम में वो किचन गार्डन को प्रमोट करने के लिए इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम को प्रमोट किया है ब्लॉक में। इसके साथ साथ मैं GPDP के अंतर्गत में जो भी डिजास्टर रिडक्शन प्लान है उसको इंक्लूड करने के लिए मैं मेरा से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ। यस सर, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी दिस opportunity.
Thank you. It is not that we are giving you opportunity, you are working hard and you are doing good for the society, that's why you are here. So thank you for sharing your experience and beautiful practices of volunteerism from the Sikkim, and convey our regards to the Director SIRD Sikkim and also our SIRD colleague Barun also for bringing here. So now I would like to move to Mizoram. Mr. Changte, are you there? President, Young Mizo Association, are you there? Mr. Changte, you are there in the, but I don't know. Okay. So next, let us move to Tripura, from where I also came from there. Mr. Sudhir Majumdar. Mr. Sudhir Majumdar from Tripura. Sudhir. Sudhir, are you there? Network maybe. Shante, Mr. Shante or Mr. Sudhir? Mr. Sudhir Majumdar from Tripura. Mr. Changche from Mizoram. It looks that they are in the box, but I don't know. Network is. Mr. Changche? No. Sudhir Majumdar? Okay. Most probably some network connection because they are in the participant list, but could not hear or anything. Anyway, so this is the time that we got almost 6 successful experience of volunteerism in the field of rural development in different dimensions, starting from the community volunteerism to individual volunteerism, as well as that self-help group we got from the local level from panchayat. And now we have a few time for participants who are here, who are not the speaker. If you have anything to ask, any question to our presenter or our dignitaries regarding volunteerism, we are getting some questions in the chat box also that we can take. But if you have any specific question to any of our presenters who presented from their respective states, so you can ask 1 or 2 questions. It may be in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, or you can request for unmute. One, yeah. May I know who is speaking? You can, even if you have the communication problem, you can put in the chat box. I can take the questions from there.
I think if no question, then let us proceed for some other.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So now let us. This is last announcement for Mr. Sudhir Majumdar. If you are there, you can share for 5 minutes, and also Mr. Changte from Mizoram, the President Young Mizo Association, Mamit District. If you are there, any of you, you can share for 5 minutes. Otherwise, let us go to our last. Okay, I think nobody is here. Anyway, so now it's the time to move to Dr. Vedabbas Kundu. Now, Dr. Vedabbas Kundu.
Yes, please.
Okay, now it is your time.
Okay.
Before you go,
thank you very much.
Yeah, before you go for official vote of thanks, let me also give you official vote of thanks. Okay, because of your initiative, this program, together. Mr. Vedabbas Kundu, the program officer, Gandhi City and Darshan Samiti. He has done wonderful work in the field of Gandhi Darshan and different, particularly in the sector of volunteerism, in the peace building, and different other events. Number of cases, particularly non-violent communication, he has done wonder. And number of lecture in and around in different countries he used to give on the non-violent communication. So we would like to request Dr. Vedabbas Kundu, the program officer, Gandhi City and Darshan Samiti, to give the vote of thanks to the dignitary participant and our speakers. Over to Dr. Vedabbas Kundu.
Thank you, Dr. Jayanto. It has been a wonderful session. It was real pleasure listening to all with guests, Honorable Secretary Rural Development, Dr. Nagendra Nath Sinha, the Director General of the National Institute of Rural Development, Dr. G. Narendra Kumar, IAS officer, IAS. It was great to listen to the Director of the NIRD, Dr. Murugan with Director Mr. Dipankar Sri Gyan. We were able to listen to some really interesting case studies, the 6 of them from the 6 different states of the Northeast on the amazing work that these volunteers are doing vis-a-vis rural development, especially in the context of the pandemic situation that we are all facing. In fact, all these case studies needs to be highlighted in a bigger way, and we need to take it to other young people across the country so that they can also get motivated. At the end of the day, the volunteerism, the spirit of volunteerism needs to be encouraged and promoted amongst every sections of the society, and these case studies showcases the real spirit of volunteerism and the vision which Mahatma Gandhi was talking about of in India of my dreams. So thanks to all the participants who joined us today on behalf of Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti and NIRD Guwahati. It has been a wonderful session, and I'm sure both these organizations we will be able to talk out further plan of action to do different programs together, different research work, different probably think of developing some interesting course on volunteerism and rural development. So it would be it was a great pleasure to listening to one of the distinguished speakers and the case studies that were showcased. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.